Hi, boys and girls. Let's read Amelia Bedelia, Under Construction. This is an I Can Read book. This is level 2. So they're words that are easy to read. I have to tell you there's something very funny that goes on in this book. Do you know about homophones? So you will notice throughout the book there are words, and Amelia Bedelia misunderstands and uses the homophone to mean something different. So you'll be hearing her say, for example, the word bored, and she'll be using it to mean when you're bored, when you don't have anything to do. So notice the homophones throughout the story, okay? When you hear a homophone, put your thumb up. It's when something is funny and she's using the word in a different meaning. Okay, let's see who's here. Sam and Henry, hello. Samantha and Benny. I just saw the puzzle you did, the puzzle of books. That is so cool. Hi, Zayra and Oliver. Zayra's napping. I just saw Oliver upstairs. Hi, Iris. Hi, Hannah and Noah. Hi, Kayla and little ones. Hi, Matea and Madeline. Hi, Zachary, Aria, and Colin. Hi, Ben and Lillian. And my reading teacher, Ron, my favorite reading teacher. Hi, Ron. I hope you liked today's story. Okay, let's get started. Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia, Under Construction. Do you know what that means? Have you ever noticed when there's construction going on in your neighborhood? What does that mean? Right, they're working on things. They're building. Amelia Bedelia was out of breath. Sorry I'm late, she said. All of these houses look alike. I know, said Kathy Hardy. Sometimes I get mixed up too. Do you ever get mixed up in the neighborhood? Do some of the houses look alike? You do? Said Amelia Bedelia. I sure do, said Mrs. Hardy. I wish our house looked different. Tell your husband, said Amelia Bedelia. I've heard that he is handy with tools. And Mimi got some tools ready. Okay. Mrs. Hardy sighed. Bob is very handy, but he travels way too much. He's coming home today from a business trip. He had to talk at a board meeting. That is awful, said Amelia Bedelia. There's nothing worse than a board meeting. Do you hate being bored? A board meeting? Is that funny? Ask your parents, what's a board meeting? They might have been to one. How true, said Mrs. Hardy. Thank you for babysitting while I go to the doctor. Are you sick? Said Amelia Bedelia. No, said Mrs. Hardy. I am expecting. Expecting what? Said Amelia Bedelia. In addition, said Mrs. Hardy. I can help, said Amelia Bedelia. I'm pretty good at math. Mrs. Hardy laughed and said, You can help when the addition arrives. I will do my best, said Amelia Bedelia. Does anyone know why that's funny? Just then, 2 children burst out of the house. It's Amelia Bedelia, said Angela. Hooray, said Andrew, she's here. Hi, kids, said Amelia Bedelia. We get to spend all day together. How did the kids feel about having her babysit? Right, they're very happy. Mrs. Hardy hugged her children and got into her car. I'll be back this afternoon, she said. Amelia Bedelia is in charge. Do whatever she says. We will, said Andrew and Angela. Well, said Amelia Bedelia, what would be fun to do? Let's play house, said Angela. All right, said Amelia Bedelia. If you are a house, then your head is the attic, and your feet are the basement. I am not a house, said Andrew. Is that how you play house? Is that funny? How do you play house? Go ahead, tell someone sitting next to you. I'll wait. Right, it's fun to play house. Let's play trucks in my sandbox, he said. Let's think, said Amelia Bedelia. What can we do together? As they talked, a truck pulled into the driveway. "Excuse me," said the driver. "Is this 81 Fairview Avenue?" "No," said Angela. "This is number 18. "Oh," said the driver. "I thought I recognized this house from the plans." "What are your plans?" asked Amelia Bedelia. "And who are you?" Oliver, what do you know about 18 and 81? Sammy, Henry, what do you think? Right. Switch them around. "My name is Bill," said the driver. "And this here is Eddie." "Hey there," said Eddie. "We are in construction." "In construction," said Amelia Bedelia. "You look like you are in a truck." Bill smiled as they got out of the truck. "What Eddie means is that we build things." "What things?" said Andrew. "Houses," said Eddie. "We redo kitchens and bathrooms." Have you ever had your house rebuilt? Have you ever had workers come and work on it? Yeah, we did here at the Crofton house. "That's right," said Bill. "We also do additions." "Say, you guys are right on time." "Addition," said Amelia Bedelia. "Mrs. Hardy is expecting an addition." "Wait a minute," said Bill. "This is the wrong address. We're looking for number 81. "Excuse me," said Amelia Bedelia. "May I see that address?" Bill handed it to her. "This says 81, said Amelia Bedelia. Then she turned the number upside down, or it can say 18. "That's right." "Of course it is," said Bill. "There are major improvements. There's a bigger breakfast room, a family room, a home office. Look here," said Eddie. "There's even a half bath." "Ha!" said Amelia Bedelia. "What's so funny? What is she picturing in her mind?" "That is pretty dumb if you ask me. Water will run out of half a bathtub." "There is no bathtub," said Eddie, "just a toilet and sink." "That's smarter," said Amelia Bedelia. "A half bath would leave you half dirty." "Speaking of dirt," said Bill, "let's go out back and figure out where we will break ground." What does that mean, break ground? "Great," said Amelia Bedelia. "I'll be right back." She ran to the garage. Bill and Eddie gave extra hard hats to Angela and Andrew. Then everyone walked in the backyard. Why do they wear hard hats when they're doing construction? Right, to stay safe. "First off," said Bill, "we'll measure to see where the addition will be." Eddie held a stake. Andrew pounded it. They tied string between the two stakes, and he pounded it with a hammer. Amelia Bedelia returned with 3 hammers. "Here you go," said Amelia Bedelia. "I found these in your dad's toolbox." "Okay, kids, let's hit it." "What are you doing?" said Bill. "Breaking ground," said Amelia Bedelia. "Anything else you need broken?" Do you know what it means when he said breaking ground? Yeah, and she's just breaking the ground. He means to get started working on the job. "I need a coffee break," said Eddie. "Just don't hammer on my cup." That's funny. And here's a cup for coffee. "We won't," said Amelia Bedelia. "It's time we had a snack too." "Good," said Andrew. "I'm tired. Being in construction is hard work." What are they going to do now? "Come along, you two," said Amelia Bedelia. "Let them do their work, and we'll do ours." They went into the kitchen. Amelia Bedelia made a snack. "What is our work?" said Angela. "It is right here," said Amelia Bedelia. "When I got the hammers from your dad's workshop, I found his to-do list." She read out loud, "Sand the deck." "I know why," said Andrew. "Dad says it will keep us from getting splinters." Have you ever helped to sand? Turn to someone next to you and tell them, what do you do when you're sanding? Right, so you take a piece of sandpaper and you rub it. You rub it on the wood. This deck is big, said Amelia Bedelia. We will need a lot of sand. Hey, said Andrew, my sandbox is full of sand. I'll get some buckets, said Angela. In no time, the deck was sanded. Is that what they meant? Is that how you sand? That's funny. This is great, said Angela. It's like having our own beach. Without splinters, said Andrew. What's next, said Amelia Bedelia. How do you think Dad's going to react when he sees all that sand on his deck? Paint patio chairs, read Andrew. Paint is messy, said Amelia Bedelia. Look, said Angela. Dad wrote, use 2 coats. Coats are easy, said Amelia Bedelia. Closets are full of them. Come along, kids. What did he mean when he said 2 coats? Right. They took every last coat. That reminds me, said Angela. Mom wants a walk-in closet. She got her wish, said Amelia Bedelia. Now that these coats are gone, there is room to walk in. Let's try. And here's some coats. Remember, he asked for 2 coats. Here's 1 coat. Here's 2 coats. Is that what he meant for 2 coats? What does it mean when it says 2 coats? Right, did you say, Oliver, 2 coats of paint? You saw your daddy painting, didn't you? What are they going to do next? First things first, said Amelia Bedelia. Go and put 2 coats on each chair. I'll clean out the rest of the closet. Amelia Bedelia finished, just as the children returned. That's that, said Angela. Every chair got 2 coats. Nice work, said Amelia Bedelia. Andrew checked it off the list. Let's walk in the closet, he said. They squeezed into the closet. This is a tight fit, said Amelia Bedelia. We can't walk at all, said Angela. I can't even breathe, said Andrew. Mom will have to walk in by herself. Let's get out of here. Do you know what a walk-in closet means? So it's a closet you walk into. Like Stephanie has a walk-in closet upstairs. You walk into it and all your clothes are hanging up there. Whew, said Amelia Bedelia. What else did your mom want? Well, said Angela, Mom always talks about redoing the kitchen. Okay, said Amelia Bedelia, let's see what we can do. You mean redo, said Andrew. They headed to the kitchen. You know what, said Angela? Mom wants marble countertops. That is odd, said Amelia Bedelia. Who has that many marbles? I do, said Andrew. I'll get them. Is that what she meant by marble countertops? What did she mean? Do you have marble countertops? Amelia Bedelia made flour paste. They put a dab on each marble. Soon every countertop was a marble countertop. Oh my gosh. I had my doubts about this, said Amelia Bedelia, but it is much prettier now. What else does your mom want? A picture window, said Angela. All right, said Amelia Bedelia. Get some paper and colored pencils. What's a picture window? Sammy and Henry, you have a picture window at your house. It's that big window behind, I think there's a couch there. It's a big window in the living room. The children drew and drew. Let's draw pictures for every window, said Andrew. Nice idea, said Angela. Yes, said Amelia Bedelia. Every window deserves a picture. That way you get a nice view no matter what is outside. That's funny. What do you usually have a view of? Yeah, of what's out your window, not of a picture. Bling, went the telephone. I'll get it, said Amelia Bedelia. You two keep drawing. Who do you think's going to be on the phone? Hello, said Amelia Bedelia. Hi, honey, said Mr. Harding. I'm back. I'm taking a cab from the airport. Well, said Amelia Bedelia, make sure you give it back. Someone else might need it. Who is this? Said Mr. Hardy. This is Amelia Bedelia, she said. This is Bob Hardy, he said. I forgot that you are babysitting. We've been busy, said Amelia Bedelia. How was your board meeting? And look how they spelled board. What kind of board meeting is that? That's when you're not interested in the meeting. Pretty exciting, said Mr. Hardy. I told the company's president how to save a lot of money. Afterward, my boss told me I had hit the nail on the head and that the board got the point. Oh, I get it, said Amelia Bedelia. You mean real boards. Bring a bunch of nails home. You can help with the addition. Here's a bunch of nails. She's funny, isn't she? What addition? Said Mr. Hardy. You know, said Amelia Bedelia, the one your wife is expecting. That is a secret, said Mr. Hardy. Only our family knows right now. Not anymore, said Amelia Bedelia. Your addition is being delivered. Has labor started? Said Mr. Hardy. We haven't even picked out a name. What's he talking about? Right, he's talking about the baby. The labor is fast, said Amelia Bedelia, and their names are Bill and Eddie. We've got twins, yelled Mr. Hardy. I doubt it, said Amelia Bedelia. Bill is way taller than Eddie. Who's she talking about? She's talking about the construction workers, isn't she? Arg, yelled Mr. Hardy. I must be losing my marbles. You're in luck, said Amelia Bedelia. Your countertops are covered with them. We can replace any marbles you lose. Mr. Hardy hung up. Was he frustrated? Were they communicating? Not very well. Poor guy, said Amelia Bedelia. He must be tired from hitting nails on the head into that board. At least he was not bored. Was that our dad? Said Andrew. Yes, said Amelia Bedelia. He will be home soon. You know, said Angela, maybe Dad wouldn't go away if he had a board at home. Yes, said Andrew, he could meet with it any time. That's so funny. She's talking about that kind of a board. What is a board? So when people are at work, it's a group of people who meet and talk about important things. Let's ask Bill, said Angela. He must have lots of boards. Good idea, said Amelia Bedelia. They went to the backyard. Bill and Eddie were still hard at work. You have made a lot of progress, said Amelia Bedelia. That's right, said Eddie. We've kept our noses to the grindstone. Ouch, said Amelia Bedelia. Who needs a sharp nose? Bill chuckled and said, I hope we don't run out of steaks. I can fix that, said Amelia Bedelia. In the meantime, can you help us? We need a board. And she means she needs one of these, right? Eddie found a long board in the back of their truck. Here's a nice one, he said. It doesn't have any knots in it. I hope not, said Amelia Bedelia. We could never untie them. Do you know what knots are? When you look at a piece of wood, you'll see where it's kind of like a circle. It's too long for Dad's desk, said Angela. Can you cut it? Sure, said Bill. How long do you want it? A long time, said Amelia Bedelia. Mr. Hardy will need it for years. That's funny. Bill scratched his head and said, I'll cut you a long piece and a short one. That's smart, said Amelia Bedelia. He can have a long or short board meeting. Very funny. All these homophones. Amelia Bedelia and the children went inside. Said Amelia Bedelia. I wonder how many steaks Bill needs. I'd better thaw some chicken, too. Here comes Mom, said Andrew. Mrs. Hardy pulled into the driveway. Oh, good, said Amelia Bedelia. Mrs. Hardy will be so pleased that her addition has arrived. Let's go and tell her. How's Mom going to react? Is she going to be surprised? Go ahead, whisper someone next to you. Tell them your prediction. Let's find out. Mrs. Hardy got out of the car. Whose truck is this? She said. It belongs to Bill and Eddie, said Amelia Bedelia. Who are they? Said Mrs. Hardy. They are delivering your addition, said Amelia Bedelia. Isn't that what you were expecting? Bill and Eddie came around to the front. We're finished for the day, said Bill. Finished what? Asked Mrs. Hardy. When my husband gets home, we'll all be finished. That means we'll all be in trouble. He won't be happy. Uh-oh, here comes Dad. What's he gonna say? Just then a taxi cab pulled up. Mr. Hardy jumped out. Good grief, he said. What is going on here? Everybody tried to explain. Nobody made any sense. Don't blame Bill and Eddie, said Amelia Bedelia. I am the one who thought the house number was upside down. Now everything is upside down. Mr. Hardy headed to the backyard. What's happened to our... Whoa! Did he trip? Mr. Hardy stepped into the kitchen. Who covered our counter with marbles? We did, said Andrew and Angela. Mr. Hardy was speechless. So, Mr. Hardy, said Amelia Bedelia, how do you like your addition so far? Addition, said Mr. Hardy. Sand on the deck, coats on chairs, countertops covered in marbles. You call this an addition? This is more like a subtraction. Bill and Eddie began to back away. Hey, said Andrew, don't go. When will we get our addition? In about 6 months, said his mom. Don't you remember? That is when we said our new baby, our addition, will arrive. What addition did she mean? She meant she's having a baby in 6 months. Congratulations, said Amelia Bedelia. Bill and Eddie chimed in too. Thank you, said Mr. and Mrs. Hardy. Angela gave her father the boards. Hey, Daddy, said Angela, you can have your next board meeting at home. You won't have to go away. Mr. Hardy nodded. Then he hugged Andrew and Angela. Thank you, said Mr. Hardy. I promise to try to stay home more. Do kids like it when their dad's at home? Yeah, and their mom too. Honey, said Mrs. Hardy, I know that this is a mess, but maybe it was meant to be. These plans are perfect for a house just like ours. We'll need more room soon. You're right, Kathy, said Mr. Hardy. We will need this addition once our addition arrives. Bill and Eddie promised to return after they finished 81 Fairview. The Hardys had a lot to celebrate. They invited Bill and Eddie to stay for a cookout. Amelia Bedelia, said Bill, your steaks look tastier than our steaks. Thank you, said Amelia Bedelia. Sammy, what are steaks? Yeah, like wood that you hammer into the ground. They all sat down to dinner. What a big day, said Mrs. Hardy. You never know how things will add up. I do, said Amelia Bedelia. I am expecting too. What? What is she expecting? Let's see. What, said Mrs. Hardy? An addition? That's right, said Amelia Bedelia. My addition is this lemon meringue pie. I am expecting everyone to enjoy it. And that is exactly what they did. What a funny, funny book. Did you hear all those homophones? Did you hear when they use the word board and board in different ways and marble in different ways? I hope you enjoyed the story. Come on in, Oliver. Mimi's just finishing up a story. Now that we finished the story, what can you do? You're bored? And that was just the word I used. Oliver said he's bored. Does he mean he's a piece of wood?
I didn't say bored.
Oh, I thought he said he was bored. So what can you do now that you finished the story? Can you draw a picture and can you use some homophones? Can you use words like expecting? Can you use addition or stake and use it in more than one way? Can you use the word sand, like sand in the sandbox, or sand a piece of wood? What about two coats of paint, or two coats on a chair? That's so funny. Well, I can't wait to see what you come up with. Draw me some pictures. And is Oliver, you got some ideas what to do with the hammer? I borrowed your hammer, Oliver, and then here's my hammer. So
Hammer your head off.
no, I'm not going to hammer my head off. That might hurt. So have fun. Draw me a great picture of Amelia Bedelia, and I can't wait to see your funny sentences. Bye. Love you. Mimi. Bye-bye.